We've got a room full of Adobe designers. So if I was going to hire an Adobe designer, why would I hire you? Ask that question. Now answer the question. What are your specialties? What projects have you worked on? What clients have you worked for? What software do you use? Do you use some, and believe me, I don't know Adobe software, so forgive me if I sound like an idiot. If you have some specialty, make that known. If you have background in a particular industry, make that known. Having industry background is a very powerful way to get a job. If you run into someone in the insurance industry or someone in the nuclear power industry or someone in some engineering field, if you have that background and they're looking for a designer, it gives you a big, big advantage because you know something about their side of the street. They like that. What's in it for me? W-I-I-F-M. That is so important. I can't tell you how important that is. You have to definitely answer that question. When someone wants to hire you, what's in it for me? What is in it for them to hire you? You need to do that. Has to be answered. You can't not do that. We talked about navigation earlier. Consistent from page to page is very, very important. There's some relatively painless ways to do that technically. PHP is nice. You can have a menu file and put it anywhere you want. And then if you need to have edits made, you only have to go to one place, which is good if you have a 60 or 80 or 100 or 200 page website. Can you imagine if you had to edit 200 pages? The links must take the reader where they say they will. That's not so much a problem anymore. But in the earlier days of the web, people would put in links and you'd click it and it would take you to a site trying to sell you who knows what. That's not terribly prevalent anymore. The links do need to be easily understood. Contact or contact us. People pretty much know that that's where you go to find information on how to get a hold of you. About us, media page, press page, that sort of thing. If you can work keywords into your links, that's good. You may not be able to do that, but if you can, go ahead and do that. This is going to be controversial. A couple months ago, I was talking to a man that I have great respect for, and he said, I took all the social networking links off my website. And you did that because you work real hard to get people to your website. So if I go to your website and I see a YouTube link and I say, oh, I wonder what videos they've got. So I'll go look at them. Well, I just left your website. If I see a LinkedIn link, I may go to LinkedIn. Well, I may never come back. I took all of the social networking links off of my web page. They're all gone. They're gone. They're off my site. They don't exist anymore. Now, out in the world, if you go to my blog or you go to other places, LinkedIn or wherever, all those places will send you to the website. But it doesn't go the other way anymore. You may or may not want to do that, up to you. Personally, I like it. Copyright date. Go to the bottom of almost any website and look and see what the copyright date is. You'll find 2006, 2008, 2009, 2004, 2011. Every now and then you'll find one that's 2013. This makes you look like you're out of business. The website's hanging around. Nobody's been there for years. You can go online. You can get a little bitty script. It's maybe a half a dozen lines of very simple code that will generate the current year. And you put that wherever you want to show the copyright date. The bottom of the index page or the bottom of the main page is fine. You don't have to put it everywhere on the site. But if you use the script, it's always up to date. And you don't get a call from someone saying, I need you to go update the copyright date on my website. So you're going to charge this person, an hour to. So clients like it. Use it as a selling point. Tell them what you're doing. Here, I'm going to do this so this is always up to date. You won't have to spend money every year. They like that. I also have a script that I use for email so that when robots come through, they can't harvest your email address. They look for the @ sign. They take what's on the left and on the right, or what precedes it and what follows it. And that's how they take your email address. I put it in a script. So the prefix is a variable, a variable, and the suffix is a variable. So when the robot comes through, sorry, you lose. And you can do that everywhere people want email, and you can find that online as well.
What would you look for? Like, what would your keywords be if you're looking for the script for email?
Unspammable email. If you can't find it, email me, I'll send it to you. Or you can just open up my main page and do a page source and steal it. And, it's on my main page. It's on my Contact Us page. And all you got to do, you'll see where my email address is, and you can just put yours in there. But I'll put up my email before I go. You're more than welcome to email me, and I'll send it to you. Not a problem. A press room on your website is great, particularly if you'd like to have someone do a story on you. A press room has one overriding immediacy. A reporter is going to come there who's got no time. These people are always late. They're on deadline. They come to your website and they say, oh, this is great. I'd love to do a story on these people. So they go to the press room. You want to find, well, you can see bio, TV, full contact information. Now, you have a media person in the organization. Media people are probably on call 24 hours a day. It is the only place I would ever recommend putting a cell phone for someone. I would never recommend putting a cell phone down for an executive secretary, anyone who owns a business. You don't really want that online because you're going to get pounded. People are going to be calling you all the time. A media person, that's a different story. You want to have the information on there, and if it duplicates what's in the Contact Us page, don't worry about that. That's great. Duplicate away. Put everything, your full mailing address. If you use Skype, the cell phone for the media contact, the whole 9 yards, and don't worry about duplication. Put in bios of top personnel. That's important, particularly if you've got really high-level people where their expertise is really the company. Their expertise is driving the products. Awards, publications, that's all nice. Media releases. Put links to all of your media releases right there on the press page. If you want to see something, I started doing what I call socially networked media releases, and they've got video. They've got, my blog is on them. They look really nice. They're really different. If you go to, I think it's news.webcontentrx, might be worth taking a look at. We just went through the Contact Us page. I don't think I need to say anything else. Oh, don't put if you're going to put a form on your page, don't have that be the only thing on the page. It drives people crazy. You go to Contact Us, there's a form. Well, I don't want to fill out 15 different things. I want to phone you. I want to email you. I want to talk to customer service. I want to talk to engineering. I want to talk to somebody. So at the top of the page, put down your mailing address, your telephone numbers, the pertinent numbers. Put an email address in there. Then if you want to have the form below it, go ahead. But give people an easy way to reach you. Otherwise, you just make them crazy. What's content? Content's my favorite thing. In its broadest definition, it's really anything you put on a website. Graphics, video, pretty much anything. The way I look at it is content is the written word. It's text. Other people have different opinions. Text is a problem because it's expensive to produce, it's time-consuming to produce, and all those things have led to something called content curation. Who's heard of curation? Okay. Think of a museum. They curate the content. They don't make the paintings, they don't do the sculpture, but they bring these things in and you can go there and view them. Content curation means that you hire someone, or one of the people in in the company is going to look around, find content that's pertinent to their needs. Doesn't matter who created it. Could have been created by a competitor. Could have been created by someone in Australia. Could be anywhere or anything that's pertinent. Now they'll either link to it or they'll bring it in. They may write a few words on top of it. The honest people will tell you where it came from and not take credit for it. Not everybody does that. The thing I don't like about curation, and I hope this surprises you, it's not because I'm a writer and it's taking business away, but when people come to your site, look, they want you. They want your knowledge, they want your expertise, your experience, your wisdom. But what do they get? They get somebody else's. Well, they don't want somebody else's. They do business with you because they like you, they respect you, and you do good work. So if you can at all find the time to generate your own content, I think you're going to find that it goes a lot farther with your clients. And you can ask your clients, what would you like to see in my content? You can send them an email. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, they're just going to throw it away. But they're not, because you're going to sweeten the pot. You're going to ask smart. In the email, you're going to say, if you answer these half dozen questions or 10 questions and make them relatively short answers, I'll give you a free report. I'll give you a coupon good for X number of % off of some product. I'll invite you to my next lecture, or so you give them something so that they spend their time. You get the market research that you need to generate good content, and they get something in return. That is much more powerful than saying, gee, would you fill this out? It would be a real big help to me. I don't know how your days go, but there are days when I'm trying to write something and I've got to get it out where I don't have that kind of leisure where I can just go off and do that sort of thing. So if I don't do it right away, I may try it again later, but you don't get to that sort of stuff. But if you offer something in return, it's a far better fit. This you folks already answered. This is an infographic. It's not, I'm sorry, it's a little blurry. I sort of stole it off the net. When I resized it so I could get it in here, it kind of died on me. Infographics are very hot right now, especially for you design folks. If you can find people who want an infographic, that's lucrative.